Okay, now look at
Yeah.
Michelle Lee and Joan Van Ark.
Yes.
Doesn't it look like I'm pulling her and she has to get out of my way?
It does look like you are doing that. Yes.
And she has to go over to the side because I took over with my elbow. Well, actually, it wasn't that. Actually, it wasn't. And she might have been sitting close to Ted or whatever, but I decided I look beautiful there. Am I doing legs? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now back to Dallas and Knots Landing. In actuality, we were before, but no one knows it. We were before Dallas. David Jacobs, who created Dallas, went to CBS and tried to sell what was not called Knots Landing. It was called something else, but a marriage on a cul-de-sac, basically. And with 4 couples on this cul-de-sac and going into the lives of these people. And CBS said, no, no, no. We want something that is grand and picturesque and cowboys and Indians and Abel and Cain and oil. Okay. So he went back and he wrote Dallas. And he and his partner in crime, my very good friend Michael Filerman, had this relationship with Knots Landing that went on forever. And I jumped. CBS then, after Dallas was such a big hit, decided to take off Dallas one couple, the Black Sheep, Ted Shackelford, Gary Ewing, one of the Ewings, and Joan Van Ark. And they're actually going to move to this cul-de-sac because CBS said, we want that other show right now. And they bought Knots Landing, which wasn't called Knots Landing. And the rest is history. And the big difference between them is that Knots, there was a realism to Knots Landing in that we probably were sitting at home watching Dallas on our television screens. That's the difference. And we were so real in terms of the relationships of the people, and they fell in. We all played a different piece of the puzzle. That was Knots Landing. And my character with Sid Fairgate and Mac McKenzie was a representation of a marriage that works. We couldn't fail at our marriage because we were the hope for a survival of marriage. And everybody else had problems in marriage, jumping around each other and not always around each other, maybe jumping more on each other. Yeah, that's what it was.
Little hoppity hop here around the cul-de-sac.
So I never got to fool around, but I loved my character, Karen. I loved her because she was, again, I'll say, my representation was a woman who was looking over the picket fences and saying, what's wrong? Something's wrong here. And she was fighting for ERA and raising money for charities and supporting people who were put upon in society. And so you saw the beginnings of women, I believe, on that show, coming out of their shell and starting and being respectfully strong. Why did I put it that way? Why can't we just be strong? Yeah, she was strong, and she was the Rock of Gibraltar, they would say. She was the rock. And so with that, the audience stayed with us. It got a little bit, honestly, for me, too soap opera. It got in the later, as it went on. And I'm not talking about Donna Mills jumping on several people, because that would have been good in any show. You got to, and it was a three-dimensional character, hers was. And that's one of the reasons why our show worked, because we were not one-dimensional. There were always surprises. The bad guy turns out to have a golden heart. Is there a golden heart anywhere? Did I just make that up? A heart of gold is what I was thinking
A
of.
heart of gold.
But Karen, for me, actually, it was the stories were unto themselves. There was a beginning, middle, and end. It was not seen as a soap opera. As soon as we became a continuing story, people really loved it because they always want to know what happens to so and so. And we were great for a while, I thought. As we went on, my sense and feeling of it was, you start not to know what the hell you're doing because it's a real soap opera. It became too much a soap opera, I feel, as time went by. And I know people will get upset with me for saying it, but it was, what do you do now time? And they would come up with these ludicrous ideas. But anyway, it was what it was. And there was 14 seasons of this show. And we ended up with more episodes on the air than Dallas.
That's right. Working with the wonderful Don Murray.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't say Don Murray. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's okay. That's why I'm here.
People, yep. Oh, that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
Now I got it. Yeah. Oh, now there's a story of a little lady and she has a man watching her out there. Okay. What were we talking about?
Don Murray, working with Don.
Okay. Everybody on that set. Not me. I just didn't call him anything. It's like some people you don't want to say, oh, Don, let's rehearse. It was Mr. Murray. To everybody on that set, he was Mr. Murray. There was such respect for who he was and what he did. And again, our marriage, which was what it should be on that show, representing survival of a marriage as we thought we should know it. And the two of us were great together. It was wonderful. And then he decided that he wanted to try to do a series that he had written. So he left the show at the end of the second season, much to his wife's grin. She was so pissed at him year after year that he could have been making so much money. But really,
chagrin.
Really, it's like, why'd you leave that show? Stupid.
That's right. But, we still have to pay for the dishwasher.
Yeah. And he was iconic and the sweetest gentleman ever.
Yeah.
But then I met Kevin Dobson, who I now just got choked up about. I loved Kevin. Kevin was my husband. I married him like 2 years after Don Murray passed away. And now you might ask me, how did he pass away, Don Murray, on our show? He went over a cliff. Mm-hmm. It was the cliffhanger.
There was a cliff.
Sorry, I'm making fun, but he did go over.
But it did.
And it was the last show. It was a cliffhanger. Okay. But anyway, Kevin and I played husband and wife, and it was delicious because we did, and why Knots Landing was always as good as it was, there was a lot of humor. And Kevin and I could we could do funny, we could do humor. So you always saw this great couple as having their fun and having these humorous fights in time. And anyway, he passed away also a couple of years ago, and shocking to me. Mac McKenzie. Yeah. That's it.
You've had opportunities to work with so many fabulous people over the years. And, you know, the relationship the two of you did play off each other beautifully on Knots Landing, that you could see there was a mutual respect for one another
Oh, yeah.
And it was, you know, so believable and so real, the two of you together.
Yeah.
It's a nice shot of the two of you there from that time period. Really.
Yeah. Karen didn't wear gowns in real life. She was in jeans.
She was in jeans, and
Right.
it was sort of like the outdoor shots. They used a real cul-de-sac, right?
Oh, yeah. We were on our outdoor shots were on a real cul-de-sac. We were supposed to be living by the beach, like down a block or two. In reality, we were way out in the valley, hoping that we could jump into water anywhere. It was so hot. And then when we played indoors, we would, for instance, Karen's house, if I was going to walk in and the scene would be me walking in the house, I would, at the cul-de-sac, go to the door, open the door, cut to a stage at the studio. And the door continues, and it's me in the studio. So outdoor, indoor. Oh my gosh. Movie making.
That's what it is. Exactly.